Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is a disclaimer from Kelvin. Please be advised that all his videos at Behind the Bench are Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant respect videos. He honors and respects their hard work and accomplishments on the court. All comments are read and any disrespectful comments about Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant will not be tolerated. Disrespectful comments will be deleted and you will be banned. LeBron James fans, Michael Jordan haters or Kobe Bryant haters are not welcomed on Kelvin's videos. He does not care about a LeBron James fan opinion and is not interested in any stupid debates. So, respectful Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant fans, come on in, and let's have a good time.
What is up, good people? How y'all doing out there? It's your boy Kelvin. Hope y'all doing well today. So, I want to talk about former Celtics great Paul Pierce. He was recently on a podcast. He had some things to say about Kobe Bryant. This story came out a few days ago. I want to give a shout out to Rap God Reloaded. He told me about this a couple days ago in the comments, and I just thought about it, and I just ran across this article, and I wanted to speak about this real quick. So this is an article courtesy of basketballnetwork.net. And the title of the article, it says, Paul Pierce says Kobe Bryant was never the face of the NBA. Pierce thought even Allen Iverson had the title before Kobe. Now, just stop there. That seems kind of contradictory to me. In the title, you saying Kobe was never the face, but then on the subtitle, you saying Pierce thought Allen Iverson had it before Kobe. So what do you mean? He had it before Kobe. So you're kind of inferring that at some point Kobe did have it. You know, that doesn't make sense. He was never the face, but Allen Iverson had it before Kobe. Like, you contradicting yourself. At least that's what it seems like to me. But anyway, let's go down to this article. Okay, recently on the No Fouls Given, I guess this is Playmaker podcast, there was a discussion about who is the face of the league today. And while many believe that as long as LeBron James is around, even though he's no longer the best player in the league, it's hard for anyone else to take that spotlight. The best example is Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry, who both at one point looked like locks to become the next face of the league. But LeBron is still that guy. So, again, I haven't heard the podcast. I guess they're having a discussion about who the face of the league now, and somehow Kobe's name came up. But anyway, so let's go down to the quote that Paul Pierce had about Kobe Bryant. Quote, he says, Kobe was never just like the face of the league, Pierce says. It was Jordan. Then, think about it. Kobe was young when Michael Jordan retired. You could probably say Shaq or something like that, or like probably Iverson for a year or two, end quote. So, you know, Paul Pierce played, his prime years during that decade, and he's saying that Kobe Bryant was never the face of the league during the 2000s decade. That's what he said. Which I do not agree with, but that is his opinion, I guess. I don't know where it came from, but that's that. So, for me, when I'm thinking about the face of the league, us, the fans, we the people, we decide, we drive the market, we decide who is the face of the league as far as our consumption, who we watch, who we spend money on, jersey sales, merchandise, ticket sales. That lets the public know and lets the people know who is in demand and who's the most watched and who does the fans want to see. That determines the faces of the league during said time period. So what I'm going to do is I have a couple video clips. Y'all check these out. I'll be right back.
Because we don't have one. And here it is, the player of the decade, as voted on by you, the fans at NBA.com, Kobe Bryant.
Are you kidding?
In a runaway 64%. Then LeBron James.
Okay, now, as you've seen there, that was from TNT. This was at the All-Star game in the year 2010. And as you see here on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, the people, us, the fans, we the people, went online. They had a vote of who the people thought was the player of the decade. And by a runaway margin, Kobe Bryant, 54%, dominated the competition as far as what the people thought the player of the decade. So, ladies and gentlemen, and Paul Pierce, how can the people say that Kobe Bryant was the best player of the decade and he not ever be the face of the league during that decade? Does that make any good sense? No, it does not. That makes absolutely no sense. Now, doing this clip, I didn't want to play all of it. I don't want no copyright and all that. Charles Barkley and them try to say, oh, Shaq or Tim Duncan or whatever. No, Shaq was great for first 3 or 4 years of that decade. Then he started declining. When he went to Miami in 2005, he had a good year. But after that, he was declining. And Dwayne Wade and them, they won a championship in 2006, and he was the best player. And so, no, Shaq cannot be the player of the decade. The discussion, to me, is either only Kobe or Tim Duncan. And we know Tim Duncan was never the face of the league like that. Great player, but the fans did not gravitate towards the San Antonio Spurs, as evidenced by the TV ratings, viewerships, and stuff like that of the San Antonio Spurs, even though Tim Duncan was a great player. The people decided that Kobe Bryant, his style, his flair, how he played, he was the face of the league at that time. Let us continue.
Well, when you look at what Kobe Bryant's done, I mean, he was on top when the decade started. He's still going to be on top possibly when it ends. How many guys can really say that? They won 3 straight titles from 2000 to 2002 with him as their best or second best player, if you want to say Shaquille was better at the time. But now they went back to the finals in 2008. They won last year. They're the favorite to win again this year. And in most sports, you can't find a guy who has been on top that long. You look at, they did a GM poll this year of all the NBA general managers, and like 85-90% of them picked Kobe as the guy they'd want taking the last shot. That's Michael Jordan type numbers. I mean, I'm trying to think in what other sports argument you can have. Maybe you'd pick Tiger Woods as a guy to make a crucial putt, but where that much of a majority would pick one guy as a guy that wanted to do anything. And last year he got even more. He got closer to 90% of the vote. So he's the best closer in basketball. His will to win is, the best we've seen since Michael Jordan. Everyone I talk to says the same thing. They compare him to Michael Jordan. And when you have a comparison like that, that's Michael Jordan is the best ever. And when you're saying he's the best since then, that means a lot. And no one else has been in every category like him except Kobe Bryant.
All right, that was a clip by the Associated Press, and those are media people, and they voted Kobe Bryant the player of the decade. Now, keep in mind, this is after the 4th championship. Both of these video clips are before Kobe Bryant won his 5th championship. I know that rolled over to 2010. When I think of the decade, I think of 2000 to 2010. So in 2009, when he raised that trophy against the Orlando Magic, the media, the fans, the people solidify him as the player of the decade. Ladies and gentlemen, how can a guy voted by the media and the fans not ever be the face of the league, and he's voted player of the decade? Does that make any kind of sense? No, it doesn't. Paul Pierce, what are you talking about? Let us continue. So I went online, I just did a quick little search, and I searched who was the most viewed player in the 2000s decade. And this is what it came up with. Fix your eyes on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. We the people, the fans, we drive the market. We decide who is the faces of the league at certain time periods in the NBA. In the 90s, it was Michael Jordan. And let's read here. Kobe Bryant is widely considered the most watched NBA player of the 2000s decade, a period during which he won 5 championships and was a dominant, consistent force. He was named Player of the Decade by numerous publications like Bleacher Report, who tried to lie last year or a few months back or whatever and say Kobe wasn't player of the decade. That is a lie. Complex Magazine and Sporting News. And this Mamba mentality inspired a generation of what? Fans. Us. Fans. We the people. We decide who the face of the league. Determined by what? Viewership, ticket sales, who we want to see. The fans decide. Okay? And as you see here, y'all try to rewrite history and stuff like that. All this stuff is readily available online for y'all to look at. So, how is Kobe Bryant not ever the face of the league when he is the most watched player of the decade? Ladies and gentlemen, does that make any kind of sense? No, it doesn't. Let us continue. All right, last thing. I was talking about we the people, the fans. We decide who the players of the decade are at said period of time. I did a little search, ladies and gentlemen, of the 2000s decade. And what I looked up year by year is the top selling jerseys that the fans, we the people, we went to NBA.com. We went to the NBA stores. And this is what we bought per year. The fans, they determine, us, we determine the faces of the league at said time. So let's go through year by year. The year 2000, the top selling jersey was Shaquille O'Neal. Understandably so. Shaq won MVP. Shaq was dominant. Shaq by far was the best player in the year 2000. And the Lakers won the championship. They hadn't won since 1988. So Shaq was the face of the league in the year 2000. I have no issues with that. That is correct. 2001, top selling jersey, Kobe Bryant. Paul Pierce, I thought you said Kobe was never the face of the league. Us, we the people, the fans, made Kobe the top selling jersey in the year 2001. And that is about right. That's when Kobe became a superstar. Y'all try to change history and stuff like that and lie. Oh, Shaq this and Shaq that. Shaq was great and everything else. What happened in 2001? Kobe had a legendary Western Conference playoff run. The Lakers repeated as champion. Kobe was the best player in the West. Shaq won Finals MVP against nobody on the Philadelphia 76. Well, Mutombo, or older Mutombo, but what the real competition was the West. Shaq himself said Kobe was the face of the league, the best player in the league at that time. And we, the people, decided that Kobe was the hottest selling jersey. So, face of the league was Kobe Bryant. 2002, the top selling jersey, Kobe Bryant again. 3P. Never the face of the league. Okay. 2003, top selling jersey, Kobe Bryant again. Never the face of the league. We the people went out and bought all these jerseys, but never the face of the league. Okay. 2004, LeBron James. Now you gotta understand what's going on at this time in the NBA. LeBron has a lot of hype coming out of high school, games on ESPN. And what happens during this time period? This is when Kobe had the issue with Colorado. He's beefing with Shaq and stuff like that. And his popularity is starting to decline a little bit. So LeBron James took the top spot in 2004. Okay, no problem. 2005, top selling jersey, Shaquille O'Neal. The beef had exploded with Kobe and Shaq. Kobe was hated. Just had the Colorado stuff. He was getting blamed for running Shaq out of town, which was a lie. But Shaq went to Miami. Everybody loved Shaq at the time. So Shaq had the top selling jersey. Okay, face of the league, Shaq. 2006, Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, what happened in 2006? Legendary NBA Finals run, coming back from 0-2 against the Dallas Mavericks. Was the most popular player coming through the East. Exciting player, very young. And so they won a championship, even though it was controversial or whatever. But Dwayne Wade, the people gravitated towards Dwayne Wade. You heard my man JB making videos on her all the time. What does he say? The media back then and the fans used to gravitate towards what? The champion. Whoever won the championship, that's who got the most attention. There you go, Dwayne Wade. 2007, top selling jersey bought by We the People. Kobe Bryant again. Kobe was never the face of the league. Okay. 2008. Now, what happened in 2007? This is my point. Let me rewind. 2007, who won the championship? The Spurs. Guess what? Tim Duncan was boring. The Spurs were boring. The Spurs played the Cavs, one of the most, the viewership was very low, boring. And so the people didn't gravitate towards. People gravitated towards who? Kobe. Kobe had all them 50-point games and stuff like that, even though the Lakers at that point wasn't a great team. There you go. 2008, once again, top selling jersey. Kobe Bryant again. What happened in 2008? The Lakers made a finals run, got the trade, Pau Gasol, they made it to the finals. They did lose to the Celtics, but Kobe Bryant, as determined by We the People, the fans, gravitated towards who? Kobe Bryant. 2009, top selling jersey. Kobe Bryant again. We the People, Kobe Bryant. First championship without Shaq against the Orlando Magic. Kobe Bryant, top selling jersey. We the people, the fans, gravitating towards Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, the face of the league. And 2010, top selling jersey, once again, Kobe Bryant. They won back-to-back, his fifth championship, got one more than Shaq. We the people, the fans, gravitated towards who? Kobe Bryant. So, out that decade, 11 seasons, Kobe had the top selling jersey 7 out of 11 seasons. That is 11 seasons there. 2000, 2010. That's what I consider. I know a decade is 10, but I did 11 seasons. 7 out of 11 seasons. But Paul Pierce, he was never the face of the league. That is a lie. I don't know why people are having revisionist history and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, let Kobe Bryant's name alone. Let Kobe rest in peace and quit trying to dog his legacy. Kobe Bryant is by far the player of the decade for the 2000 decade, and he was the face of the league many, many years, okay? As determined by the people, the fans. The media can try to lie and stuff like that now, but as you see here, by the data and stuff I'm showing, driven by viewership, merchandise sales. I bet if you look at ticket sales, the Lakers during this time period in the decade was super high. And why is that? Because the fans gravitated to the most exciting player of the decade. And that was Kobe Bryant. Period. Even when he was with Shaq. Y'all try to lie and change history. Kobe was the most exciting player in the NBA. Period. Like, y'all need to stop. Just give Kobe Bryant his just due and his respect and leave his name alone. And if you look at the data after 2010 going 2011, you'll see it switch over to LeBron James. Why? Because at that point, Kobe Bryant was starting to age out. And so his popularity started to decline as he started to age and he eventually retired. That's that. And so the people, we the people, the fans, we decide who the face of the league. And in the decade of the 2000s, the player of the decade was Kobe Bryant, and he was the face of the league for many, many years of that decade. Okay? All right. Just give Kobe Bryant his just due and leave the man's name alone. Rest in peace to the great Kobe Bryant, and I'll holler at y'all next time.